Look, we've all experienced it. A text message or an email telling us we've got a new bill to pay, or that the police want us to pay a fine, or our bank wants our details. And we should all be thoroughly sick and tired of all this. These attacks on our wealth, these attacks on our privacy. The country's biggest bank, the Commonwealth, today said a quarter of all people claim to receive six of these scam messages each and every week. It's trying to do something about it, which is good. Angus Sullivan is the Commonwealth Bank's executive retail banking and also joins me now. Angus, many thanks for your time. Here's the problem. You can't stop the spam coming. That's one of the big issues here, isn't it? But at least you can help people to check whether it's authentic or whether it's not.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we wish we could, but that's a much bigger task. I think the focus of what we're announcing today is additional tools and information to customers to help keep them safe so they can make good decisions about what's real and what's not real.
OK, so what have you primarily done? Because there's two aspects of this. One is if I'm about to make a payment, and the second is, do I know it's actually you who's trying to get in contact with me? So these are the key things that people need some sort of tools or weapons against.
Exactly right. So, yeah, two announcements. The first is caller check. I've had this. I'm sure many of the folks listening in have had it as well. Someone calls you. They purport to be from an institution. It could be a bank. It could be from the government. It could be Microsoft, whoever. And you need a way of verifying, is the person that's calling me actually from the institution that they claim to be? What we're announcing today with Caller Check is the ability for all CBA customers who have the app, anytime we call them, they can go into the app and check that it's us calling them. So it'll basically be an alert that pops up into the app. It'll say it's CBA calling. You'll be able to accept the call effectively in the app. And what that also means is we don't need to ask customers who have the app security questions to confirm that they are who they are. So it's a win on a couple of fronts there. The second one is around customers making new payments to BSB and account numbers. So, business email compromise is the type of scam that this is responding to, or mistaken payments. So you go in, you're about to make a first-time payment to a BSB and account number. You enter the name, you enter the account details. We've used data and analytics to be able to serve up to customers a read on, yep, that account number and that name, they seem to have a match based on everything we've seen, or no, they don't look like a match. Be really careful about where you're sending this money off to, because there are some warning signs here. So both of them,
in that case, give me a real-life example of that, though, Angus.
Yeah, so a customer who I was dealing with late last year, they were making a final payment on their caravan. And unfortunately, the business that they were dealing with on the South Coast, they'd been compromised. Their email had been compromised, and the malicious actor, they'd hacked into their email, and they'd sent out fake invoices for final payments to a number of customers. So this lovely gentleman, he thought he was making the final payment on his caravan. Unfortunately, the invoice that he got from the business that he was dealing with was a fake invoice that had been generated by these scammers. So he sent money off to a BSB and account number that he thought was the caravan business, but actually it had nothing to do with it. What we're announcing today, that ability to match name and account details would have put a big red flag up when he went online to make the payment that said, hey, wait a second, if you think you're paying business X with these details, everything that we can see says actually that doesn't look like it's the case. So give the business a call, check the details, make sure you're really sure about what you're doing here. It looks like it's at risk.
And so who's wearing the cost of all of this? Is it the bank, or is it the customers who are wearing the cost of these scams?
Yeah, look, I mean, substantial cost all round. We know, I mean, the most recent ACCC report said that there's $4 billion of losses. It's a very substantial number. We have experienced substantial losses in this space, and look, it's exactly that issue that's motivating us to do more. There is no silver bullet solution, unfortunately, to this scourge of scams that's taking place. What we want to do is provide more tools to customers and also help them engage in building their awareness and understanding of the different types of scams out there. Make sure they're aware of the risks. If they've got any concerns, check, call us. Don't do something that they're worried about.
Because this is also one of well, not a friction, but it's actually just one of those areas as to whether the customer is negligent and therefore they're liable, or whether it's actually the bank system and therefore the bank becomes liable. This is the old, sort of, you get your money pinched out of your account and the bank robber comes through, and it's that type of situation, but it's a grey area, isn't it?
It is, and look, at the end of the day, we can debate the boundary between us. We've got to do more because we see too many of our customers. I know at the end of the year, I dealt with half a dozen personally myself. We know that many people are dealing with cost of living pressures, and it's just shameful. The scammer activity and the sophistication of what's happening, it's really confronting. So, a number of the team here came together in the middle of last year trying to work out what are things that we can do and innovate around to help try and keep customers safer.
Well, let's hope that more of your customers do it and other banks follow suit as well.